Hello everyone. Leading and managing are two words. But you know what? You lead people and you manage things. So here I am with my next session on lead, don't manage. I'll begin with an example. Jack worked in an advertisement firm. Every day he used to reach office late. His boss angrily tapped on the watch and showed him the watch. Never bothered to ask him why. This poor thing never took any break, compensated for it, and stayed for long hours. But one day he was scolded in front of the entire staff. So he decided to reach office sharp by 9, whiling away his time by watching ads and movies without doing any constructive work. Leaders create conditions for motivation to occur by energizing minds and maybe hearts. But Jack's boss failed to do so. So he was a leader or a manager. Let's find out in this session. When you delve into the theories and principles of leadership and management, there are many, but for me, it's important to understand that managers typically focus more on the execution piece, working in the business. Leadership is different from management because it has nothing to do with having a charisma or maybe having an exotic personality, because there are people who believe it is the province of the chosen few. Leaders have people who follow them, whereas managers are people who just work for them. A true leader has the confidence to stand alone and the courage to make tough decisions. The compassion to listen to others. For example, you must have heard about Azim Premji. He has made headlines beyond IT and the staggering numbers that his company has done. His intensity, ethics, and never say die attitude, there emerges a leader, a mentor, a motivator who has left a deep impression on millions of employees. A manager has to perform functions like planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. All those functions are essential for running an organization smoothly. This we need to understand. Management is about coping with complexity and leadership is about coping with change. Without good management, complex initiatives tend to become chaotic in ways that threaten their very existence. Good management brings a notch of order like planning, staffing, budgeting, etc. Whereas leadership is about coping with change. That is, successful leaders not only acknowledge the need for business development but also are willing to change and adapt and navigate their teams through this change. Okay. So the prospect of change can be daunting, but the difference between success and failure can lie in a company's ability to adapt. Presently, global markets are all smashed, but people are still investing in Mukesh Ambani's projects. His shares are at all-time high. That shows his leadership skills. There are some points which I have jotted down to distinguish between leaders and managers. Let's find out. Number 1, leaders create a vision. Managers create goals. Okay, so leaders paint a picture of what they see as unthinkable and enthuse and engross their people in turning their vision into reality. They think beyond what individuals do. For example, Nelson Mandela, who envisaged the dream for empowerment after 27 years of imprisonment, the walls of the prison couldn't break his determination but strengthened his urge for an equal society. Managers focus on setting, measuring, and achieving goals. They are busy in controlling situations to reach and exceed their objectives. Second one is, leaders build relationships, managers build systems and processes. Leaders focus on people. The profound lesson to be drawn from Abraham Lincoln, who led brilliantly, not just from his mind, but from his heart. He won followers worldwide because of his greatness and goodness. Managers focus on the structures necessary to set and achieve goals. They focus on the analytical and ensure systems are in place to attain desired goals. Next we have leaders create fans, managers have employees. Leaders have people who go beyond following them. Their followers become their frenzied fans and ardent promoters. Managers have staff who work for them and please the boss. For example, an international survey ranked PM Modi among the top 3 leaders of the world. Prime Minister Modi, who is known for his ability to connect with the masses, his die-hard fans are worldwide. On Twitter, he has crossed 50 million mark. Can you believe that? Leaders coach, managers direct. Leaders know that people who are working for them are competent and optimistic about their potential. They resist the temptation to tell their people what to do and how to do it. Dhoni is the second most admired man in India after Narendra Modi because of his ability to gauge people and to judge their credibility and potential. He is considered to be one of the greatest captains of all times, whereas managers just assign tasks and they want their desired objective to be fulfilled. Leaders take risk, managers control risk. Leaders are willing to try new things even if they will miserably fail. They know that failure is often a step to success. Risk-taking propel their careers. If you see Bill Gates, his story involves striving hard by taking risks and turning them into opportunities. Gates took an arcane technology that was accessible to few and figured out how to re-engineer so that it was relevant and affordable to the masses. Managers work to minimize risk. They seek to avoid or control problems rather than embracing them. In the diagram beside, I've tried to give you the basic difference between the leader and the manager. A manager would dictate a task to an employee, whereas a leader would lead the employee towards the goal by taking his stride till the end of the process. At times, what matters the most is a mentor who holds your hand through and through. Managers dole out tasks, while leaders share a vision that's motivating and meaningful. To create a vision and inspire people, this will always weigh more than any sort of managerial work. Many could teach a process, but only few could teach the way of life. And that's the difference between a leader and a manager. I sum up with every organization needs a manager to prosper. A legacy can be created by leaders by inspiring the minds and leading them to the desired goal. Do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there's no path and leave a trail. That's what makes all the difference. Do give your honest feedback and suggestions for the next session. And yes, if you want me to be back, do subscribe and follow me. Thank you.